Welcome to Game 3 of the EU Bracket Starcross Cup Finals. Jaeger versus All-Stars. This is once again going to be All-Stars' last chance to stay in the tournament. They cannot lose or they will be eliminated, and Jaeger will be moving on to fight the NA champions. And look at this decision. Even in the finals, even in Game 3 of the finals, where Jaeger has a chance to eliminate All-Stars and secure their victory, they have chosen U.S. Forces. Vipix has gone U.S. Forces. He is going to make it work, and I'm really happy to see that. I hope he can. I certainly hope he can. Meanwhile, and his teammate is playing Soviets. Meanwhile, on the right, we have mixed Axis. So all four factions will be represented here. Run to the Sun once again playing over Commando West. Charging for the fuel very hard, and his teammate Symbiosis is playing Osthair. Symbiosis, I'm always curious to see Symbiosis' start because I think he's varied his openings so much during this tournament. Looks like he's going to go double Grens again. Not going to go Mortars and MGs yet. But we'll see what he sprinkles in there. Zark going with double conscripts. And this engagement is going to be very heated here. Rifles taking up a position in the building, and they should be able to win out over Sturm Pioneers. Only 2 windows in the south. Should be enough, though. Looks like it definitely will be. Heavy damage being inflicted on that Sturm squad. They're definitely not going to win this. More rifles moving up. Vivix being able to force those Sturm Pioneers away, and that's such a huge win for him because it means no repairs on the Kuba wagon. Effectively forcing the Kuba wagon away if it takes a little too much damage. And there's lots of buildings and green cover in this area, which means that Kuba has no power to flank him. Makes me a little bit surprised, in fact, that Run to the Sun prioritized this central village area over the north fuel, where the Kuba wagon can easily reign supreme. Meanwhile, in the south, Pioneers are forcing away Zark Cloud's combat engineers. Maybe even wiping the squad. Look at that. Pios get a squad wipe. Grenadiers helping a little bit from the back. Conscripts moving up here to grab the strategic point and try and support. And we already have AT grenades from Zark Cloud. That is an insanely early AT grenade research. He really does not want to get beat down by a Kuba wagon, but I think that's a mistake in this forested area. The Kuba wagon has no maneuverability. If he had gone Molotovs first, he could have easily tossed one on this blob and won this whole engagement without a second thought. That AT grenade research might have been a mistake. Meanwhile, over... Oh, what? The Kuba wagon just went down. I missed it. Oh! Just as I said the AT grenade research was a mistake, I think these conscripts oorah'd right into it and AT grenaded it and blew it up. So the joke is on me. Zark Cloud just proved me wrong. He took out that Kuba wagon, which is definitely going to help out his U.S. Forces teammate. Vipix actually rotating down here into the south to use his superior rifleman to force the Grenadiers back. But here in the north, Folks Grenadiers are going to grab this fuel. Salvage on the Kuba wagon happening, and the battle group headquarters is going to go up here in this defensive position. I think almost every single game with an Over Commando West player here in the right base, they have put their battle group headquarters here on the right side. So looks like that's going to be a popular position for that truck. Certainly difficult to unseat, although he has left it maybe a little bit vulnerable to AD gunfire. I feel like Run to the Sun almost intentionally leaves it vulnerable to attacks from like dangerous, slightly overextended positions.
Enemy is engaging us. We are ready to go, comrades.
Just to get his opponent to expose themselves a little bit, but I don't know. That being said, they were super aggressive last game. Bit of an engagement here in the middle, kind of a stalemate between squads. 5 windows in both of these buildings. But conscripts, of course, losing out to Folks Grenadiers at long range, especially with Grenadiers supporting here. Pretty much going to be forced away. Lots of territory changing hands. Grenadiers grabbing some stuff up here. Riflemen grabbing the north. Grenadiers grabbing the south. very spread out between all players, and this ambulance is actually quite early as well. Vivix, now that the Kuba wagon is dead, doesn't really feel too much pressure to get a utility car. So he's actually going to grab a 4th squad of riflemen and an ambulance here.
Ground's ours.
And he's almost making me think he's going to go captain first.
Ground's ours. Now spread out.
Very interesting.
We're getting chewed up here.
So no utility car, no M20
The enemy
mines.
is overrunning one of our capture points.
He's gonna try and win this with captain tier.
What the hell?
He is full of surprises this game. He has chosen airborne though, so
Just got cut off.
that's
Captain just
not a huge surprise.
Task complete. Crew recaptured. I got orders, boys. Squad, get ready.
That rifleman attempt at a flank is definitely not going to succeed. Way too much stuff here. Conscripts are moving up, but again, without Molotovs, he's not going to be able to do much against that machine gun. It's just getting focused down on the road. Forces a full retreat. Ooh, suppressed on retreat. Hope that gets away. I really want that to get away. Why? Why? You know, Run to the Sun could have chased and killed that. I think he consciously chose not to because he's like, there's a suppressed on retreat, and that's bullshit. I'm not gonna kill that. Because he easily could have. I think that he was doing that kind of out of respect almost. Good for him. Meanwhile, we have some capping here in the north, and the map is actually getting split almost horizontally here. Although these shock troops are about to rectify that situation, grabbing the victory point down here. Combat engineers moving down to grab the munitions point, I think. Volley fire going out. Not sure if it worked. They retreated a little too early for me to be able to tell. And it looks like the Americans will be able to secure that strategic point. Axis now hurting for territory. The only thing really that they hold is this fuel. And even that may be lost soon. Captain moving up and taking up a position in this house, but he's getting mortared out. And the munitions, munitions is about to fall here to these shocks. Axis need to break out of their current situation. Looks like this defensive position could get overwhelmed. This flank coming around here by Zarkcloud's conscripts doesn't have anything to stop it. Well, then actually there's some grenadiers moving up to counter. Rifles here in the building. More rifles charging head on. Captain moving up. Yeah, machine gun's going to retreat. Feeling a little too overwhelmed. Oh, friendly fire! What was that, Zarkcloud? Oh no! That rifle squad just tanked that Molotov. That was a little weird. Another one going out on this group of forces. It looks like Vivek still has not tech grenades, so he doesn't have anything to throw at them. Nope. But his steward is on the field and is already firing on this grenadier squad up here. Ooh, nice snipe there. And then Vivix actually is quite deadly with the steward. He used it quite extensively in the Super Cup, which was a while ago, but he actually beat Run to the Sun in Game 3 of their matchup with a Vet 3 Steward on Crossing the Woods, 1v1 over Commando West versus US forces. So that was certainly impressive. We'll see if he can make that happen again. It's so micro-intensive because of how fragile it is, but it's excellent at medium and even long range at sniping infantry models. So it requires a lot of babysitting, but you can... It's just one of those slow bleed units. It takes a lot of finesse. Oh! Almost loses that full shock troop squad. Still, the Allies are keeping up the pressure. Axis really continue to be hurt for territory, but at the very least we have a Schwer Panzer HQ going up here on the victory point. It's going to slow the clock, make that difficult to take back. I've still never seen a Schwer Panzer HQ constructed somewhere like crazy, like up here. But just imagine how hard it would be to take this fuel if a Schwer Panzer HQ went up that far. Obviously that's extremely far away from Axis headquarters, so that could be Could be a difficult position to hold, but it could also be really difficult to assault. Kind of just makes the game hard mode for both teams, I guess. Not gonna see that this game, sadly. Wow, that machine gun did not get set up in time, and those riflemen just overwhelmed him. Still no grenades, so no smoke available for Vivix yet. And paratroopers are getting called in here, as he's actually he's had 3 command points for a while, but he's only just now got the manpower to be able to afford that, I guess. And everything is just being forced to retreat from those 2 rifle squads. He has to get a little farther away from the Schwer Panzer HQ. He's kind of lucky, actually, that he didn't get suppressed by any of those flak bursts. Ooh, Stern Pioneers moving up to support, and the rifles are kind of wounded. And I think they're gonna be forced to retreat now. Yeah, there they go. Especially with that machine gun bursting them down. Meanwhile, Zarcloud is... Wow. What is his commander? What is this one called again? Soviet Shock Army. Look at that. Okay, both players just surprising me. Really surprising me this game. Soviet Shock Army. That is definitely a surprise. So PPSH conscripts leading the charge here. They will get suppressed. Molotov goes out. They're gonna have to retreat. When I saw shock troops, I didn't even give it a second thought. But I certainly was not expecting Soviet Shock Army. And yet the Allies just have great map control. Trying to grab that VP. I'm not sure it's going to happen, though. Oh, he's just outside their vision, I think. But apparently he's not capping. He wasn't capped. Did you see that? The circle was filling back up. Oh. So much for that harassment attempt. Ouch. Looks like those mines got spotted. Minesweeper? Yep. Those mines got spotted, so probably going to get swept up, although, like I said before, you can put a lot of like harassment on your opponent just by defending your own mines. Like your mines are almost like forward defensive positions that you need to control. Because every time you plant a mine and your enemy spots it, it's almost like a little bonus objective for him to like sweep that mine. I need to sweep that mine up, and it creates almost like a zone of where like engagements are going to happen in the future, where you're trying to prevent him from sweeping the mine. Which just goes to show how incredibly important mines are. They have such a dramatic impact on the psychology of how you behave, how your opponent behaves, because of just how incredibly devastating their effects can be on the game. This road is just becoming a mass grave. All these conscripts just charging into it. Looks and LMG grins. Stuart has actually not been performing very well because of all the green cover. It's having a lot of trouble getting those long-range snipes. The Stuart is basically the USF sniper. They don't have a sniper, but they have a Stuart, but unfortunately its accuracy is not nearly as good. Certainly a lot more durable, though. Paratroopers are upgraded with M1919s, taking some damage, though. He's got to retreat. There he goes. Lots of soft retreating happening here. Oh, those grenadiers! What were they thinking? Look how overextended they were. What kind of flanking attempt was that? He just handed that LMG right over to his opponent. That was a bit of a mistake by Symbiosis, I think. And the importance of the North is becoming pretty evident here. No surprise that the Axis are prioritizing that, and it's kind of an interesting dynamic of this map that because the Axis want to hold those 2 victory points and prolong the game as much as possible, it means that they're not going to put that much effort toward taking the munitions in the south, which means that the Allies are going to... The game's going to run long, but the Allies are going to have a ton of munitions to try and deal with that. They'll have more abilities, more off-map artillery, more upgrades. If the Axis chooses to prioritize this part of the map. So I think that's kind of a fun aspect of this map. And like I've said before, I'm not sure I've made up my mind on whether it favors the Axis or Allies, because we've seen huge success from both factions on this map so far, which actually has me really excited about this map for the future. There's going to be a lot of really exciting and interesting games on this map. This is already turning out to be one of them.
Enemy forces are attempting to capture our territory.
Grabbing this house with those riflemen, but they're already at half health, and the building is like dangerously close to collapsing. Grenade goes off, it doesn't do much. Oh, he wasn't paying attention to that. Volk's Grenadier Squad on the PPSH just wipe him out. And lots of PPSH armed conscripts moving through. Fuel point here. Ura going out as well. Wasn't able to close the distance though. Only 8 kills on that look, surprisingly. The light tanks really struggle in these green cover engagements. They can't hit anything. The Stewart has 9. Looks has 8. Just trying to close into like point blank range here to try and accomplish something. At least get some vet. Oh, look at that! He actually got an AT grenade off on the looks here with his. Oh no! Oh no! I think he just got sniped by that Panzer IV. Yeah, he did. That's what just happened. I didn't even know there was a Panzer IV on the field. Meanwhile, there's just carnage in this area. Just everything dying. And that mortar is actually going to get away. Wow. And it looks like Zarkcloud has 2 120mm mortars, so he's going to just try and bomb them out at this point. Try and make good use of that Soviet shock army. He is actually utilizing his doctrinal features very heavily right now. Literally every unit in his army is affected by his doctrine, except for his combat engineers at this point. And his combat engineers are building something. Tier 4, so he's probably going to grab a Katyusha here. Meanwhile, if we take a look at what Vipix is thinking of doing, he's getting a Jackson. So despite all of these LMG Grens and stuff, he's not going to grab a Sherman to try and whittle away at the enemy infantry. He's going to try and get a solution for his Panzer IV, and I think he's going to rely on his teammate a little bit to fight the infantry war with those indirect fire units. And every time Zarkcloud sees that, looks, he just charges straight for it. I think he got one off. Yeah, he did. So it will once again be forced back for repairs, and damaging the engine of Looks, even when you can't follow up, is important if you think that Looks might chase you on your retreat, because damaging its engine forces it back, and it can't chase, potentially wiping your squads. American infantry moving up here.
Capture point is being overrun. Grenade! Orders! Enemy infantry! They're flanking us! Ready, set, get
Jackson circling around. I think he might get it. Yes, he does at maximum range. Very nice. Panzer IV goes down, and the Jackson will be able to pull back to safety, and that is actually going to unlock his P-47. Nice use of that Jackson there. Now the Looks is probably next on his list.
We're losing a capture point.
More anti-tank grenades going off on the Looks. These conscripts probably going to get into the arc of that machine gun. They are triple vet though, taking a lot of damage from that Looks. We actually have a P-47 getting called in just to take out the Looks. I don't know if that's going to connect, but it could get a lot of potentially shots off on these surrounding infantry. Oh, look at that. Almost wiping an over squad and clearing out the mortar.
That's a Panzer Shrek! We need support! Damn it, women!
Looks like he will get clear of the strike zone
We're
though.
on the hawk over here!
Lots of reinforcement happening again here in the battle group headquarters. Oh, that Katyusha barrage. Ouch.
Paratroopers ready for action. I'm hit! All done over here. Knock it off and listen up.
I'm surprised that the Allied economy is able to keep up with their losses and aggression in this game. They have just gone crazy, hurling themselves at this Axis defensive line, but it's totally working. Let's see how the heavy mortars are doing. 10 kills there, 14 there. Not that many. By comparison, his shock troops have 7, 6, 9, 8 on the various infantry. So the heavy mortars are doing more than anything else in his army. 12 kills just from one barrage with the Katyusha, by the way. Wow, that could have been catastrophic if that had landed a little bit differently. Those heavy mortars and Katyusha are going to be really dangerous for this battle group headquarters.
The enemy still has 300. AT gun is ready for combat.
Riflemen trying to provide vision on the Schwer Panzer HQ for the Jackson to shoot at it. Also distracting from this capture attempt here. The Lux is trying to do some harassment as well. We actually have the fuel being taken by Symbiosis Pioneers up here, and the Axis desperately need to hold on to their territory here. They're just getting pushed so hard, and I think that Schwer Panzer HQ is going to go down. Oh, all that infantry though. Oh, the captain goes down. That rifle squad also goes down. Double squad wipes for this massive Axis blob. And that Schwer Panzer HQ is gonna survive by a hair. I can't believe Vivix didn't just attack grounded through the fog, anything to just finish it off. Meanwhile, Zarcloud is trying to get revenge down here on this battle group headquarters, but I don't think he can do anything against that double vet Lux. He's gonna have to pull away, although he may, yeah, he's gonna steal this mortar at least. So, at least this push will accomplish something. Ooh, Katyusha barrage is going off. Oh, but it was off target. Oh, he didn't get away with the mortar. That's such a shame. Triple vet paratroopers moving up here. Ooh. They just obliterated that machine gun. It didn't stand a chance. 21 kills on those paratroopers, making them, I guess, probably like the most deadly infantry squad in the game so far. I'd be really surprised if anything else has kept up with that. These are just fresh riflemen replacing losses, and we also have a second Jackson hitting the field, taking shots at that Lux, which somehow managed to survive a P-47 strike, of all things. But it looks like finally the Schwer Panzer HQ will go down. There it goes. Meanwhile, they're just asking to get blasted by a heavy mortar or Katyusha. We take a look at Zarcloud. This Katyusha will be ready to fire very soon. He also has access to the concentrated barrage, so I would be careful. Fortunately, they are spreading out a little bit here now. Axis gaining a little bit more traction here. They've still got no control over a fuel of any resources of any kind. There's shock troops here, which is going to shut down any attempted harassment because they're so good at counter harassment, especially in those close quarters areas. Oh, there's the Katyusha barrage. Katyusha barrage with conscripts with PBSHs in the retreat path, but fortunately there's a machine gun set up to suppress, and one squad goes down and a strafe comes in to pin the other, forcing a retreat there. P-47 also coming in on the Lux again, but it just can't hit anything with all these trees. Dealing a little bit of damage, but really nothing too impressive, and it will get clear of the strike zone, but it gets right into the path of two of Zarcloud's AT guns. One of the shots misses, and the Lux survives by a hair once again. now the field gun is actually going to get cleared. And I'm not sure what these Jacksons are doing. They must have been trying to hunt down the looks, but it's long gone. And I think that's also a Sturmovik being called in. So there are planes from 3 different factions circling the field right now. A Sturmovik, a P-47, and a stupid strafing run. Oh, those shock troops clear out the gun again, but they have to retreat. Run. Wow, just barely getting away. And the Axis are just desperately hanging on by a thread. These super aggressive Allied pushes. Jackson's doing what they can with paratrooper support.
Our enemy has only 200 points.
High explosive barrage going off on those grenadiers. Oh, looks like it was aimed a little short though. And it's going to get cleared.
Task complete. Crew ready. The capture point is under attack. Hold down the metal, boys. Promotion just came through. We're on the hook over.
Looks like Vivix has tech grenades though. Doesn't quite land. Katusha also firing way back here on the mortar, it looks like. Oh, that was a good one. And the heavy mortar also almost clearing out the infantry support gun. Oh, those Jacksons just walked right into a terrible trap. Oh, main gun destroyed on both tanks. Look at that. And there it goes. Because this was too busy repositioning to fire during like that whole engagement. Oh, that long range snipe! That well over max range long Raketenwerfer snipe. And both Jacksons go down just to take out a looks. Just to take out a looks, but it was almost a worthwhile trade because of how good the Allied map control is. They honestly really can't afford to throw away 2 Jacksons just to kill that one looks. That's how hurt the Axis are for fuel right now.
We are losing a sector. Our opponents are seizing a sector.
We've had 3 paras moving up on these Panzer Fusiliers. Grenadiers here fighting the conscripts in the center. Oh.
That's everyone. Grenadiers ready.
Allies are somehow managing to keep up the pressure. They will get pushed back, making good use of the forward retreat point, plus ambulance combo though. Dark Cloud also managing to benefit from it a little bit. Katusha firing now.
Is now a field hospital.
That's a lot of Axis blobbed up infantry, but they are successfully bursting down everything that tries to charge across this field. Katusha's still on cooldown, I think. And Symbiosis went with assault support. That's new. Not go spearhead this game, and I think that's the first time I've seen him use that, and he's going to throw an Opal Blitz on that sector. Molotov's going out. Scott up to 5 kills, not anything too catastrophic yet. It's one of those units you just have to hope for the best, really. Oversoldaten up to 25 kills, giving those paratroopers a run for their money. Only 100 points remain for the Axis, but they're finally going to break through and grab the second victory point up here. Allies kind of failing in their pushes, but Axis really need to get some territory back. Finally grabbing this fuel up here. Just really struggling. And I'm really curious about what the Axis are planning as far as tech. They both have well over 200 fuel stockpiled. I'm thinking Tiger or Symbiosis. I don't see what else he could be thinking. Run to the Sun, on the other hand, I guess I don't know. He already lost the Schwerpanzer HQ. He never built a mechanized, so he's not really anywhere near a KT. I think he's probably just holding out for Yagged, but I feel like that would be a huge mistake. Then again, their opponents have... yeah, actually, never mind. Their opponents are airborne and Soviet shock army, so... I'm not, I'm just not knowledgeable enough about what best counters Soviet shock army. King Tiger would probably be the best call. But it'll be a long time before that arrives. I'm surprised he's not trying to bridge the gap with more lower tech units. The Allies are blazing their way through the north. Oh, that grenade's probably gonna win him this engagement. He was forced to reposition and the shocks get into cover. And Symbiosis has to retreat everything. The shock troops will Soviets will maintain control of the south with nothing but a shock troop squad and some engineers and possibly even wipe these grenadiers. They're taking so much damage and there they go. Oh no, what a devastating counter harassment right there. Riflemen being forced back. Symbiosis Tiger is finally on the field. 32 minutes in, that's quite late. He just couldn't afford it. That's how bad the Axis fuel control has been. Hopefully he'll be able to make a dramatic impact with it. The Allies are down 2 Jacksons, but there's already 2 more here. Like I said before, they have had such good map control, they could literally afford to throw away those 2 Jacksons just to kill the looks. The Allies have got to keep up the pressure, though. The doctrine/faction they've chosen doesn't have the staying power that they're going to need to win this game. Only 61 points left for the Axis. Oh, one-shotting that rifle squad, but only 61 points left for the Axis. They can win this. They can win this if they just grab the North victory point and just hold it for just a little longer, just a tiny bit longer. But they have to win, like, they have to win now. They must win now. Symbiosis and Run to the Sun don't want to be eliminated from this tournament, and they are fighting tooth and nail to keep that clock from ticking. Katyusha firing. Jackson also getting some penetrating shots off on the Tiger there. Yikes, it's taking so much damage. P-47 getting called in on it. Oh no, it's fallen so low and the Jacksons are going in super hard. More penetrating shots. Oh, the P-47 from behind completely missed. It completely missed. Vivix was banking on that to finish it off, but it gets clear. It gets clear and the strike zone ends right there, so the Tiger's going to be just fine. Very risky for that Tiger. That is not something Symbiosis could afford to lose. Meanwhile, Frangible going out on those conscripts. There's also still a bar here on the ground you can probably grab with those ogres. Because I think a bar is probably better than their standard rifle damage. It's not great, but it's probably still better than their Kar 98. I hope. And it looks like we finally have an opening for some harassment down here in the south. Zark Cloud's shock troops are in his base. So they were down there counter-harassing for a long time, but he finally had to pull them back. Looks like a demo charge got some stuff here as well. Oh, a little bit over-aggressive with his SWS apparently. He almost got taken out, but the P-47 strike does end. Sturmovik getting called in for the overs. Ooh! That was devastatingly close to wiping the squad. If those paratroopers were not suppressed, I don't know if they would get away. Oh, and there's the Yak Tiger. So Run to the Sun has chosen Yak Tiger. Again, not 100% sure I approve of that decision because there's no ISU on the way. There's no ISU and there's no T-3485s. Of course, it's going to really shut down these Jacksons, though. Those Jacksons will have no chance against, of bullying that Tiger anymore. So certainly it's very effective against an enemy tank destroyers. It's like the mega ultra counter to tank destroyers. Oh, look at that. That Scott was at full health and just got one-shotted from a million miles away. It's just ridiculous. AT gun moving up to fire on him. There's actually a Kenworfer back here as well. There is a lot of mass AT getting called in. Crew dazed. It's already down to half. That was a really effective P-47 barrage, and the rockets keep coming in. Oh! The Tiger goes down. More crew dazed on the Yag Tiger. The Jacksons are going in hard. There's not much supporting AT in range, just one Panzerschreck, and they're going to go for the flank, but shots are missing, even at point-blank range. More P-47 strikes come in, and the Yag Tiger stands no chance. Destroyed engine, and the Jacksons have taken almost no damage. Out of control. There goes the Yag Tiger. Hugely successful P-47 strike plus Jackson combo on that Yag. It just couldn't stack up. No Pak-43s in the area. No Kenworfers. Didn't even get any Fausts off. Only one Panzerschreck in supporting range. No chance. The Axis are trying to follow up. They're going to be in such a precarious position now, though. What are they going to do? All of their heavy tanks just got destroyed. And despite all of that, the Allies still don't have these victory points. Only 48 points remaining for the Axis. They really need to push for those VPs. Looks like they're going to have some penetration finally, though, with these mass PPSH conscripts. Nothing but a Volksgrenadier squad defending, and we've got paratroopers moving up from behind. That machine gun's having a lot of trouble suppressing at max range with all these craters everywhere. Heavy mortars going off left and right. So much for that Kenworfer, but it actually took out... It just took out a Jackson. He actually just took out a Jackson with his Kenworfer behind enemy lines. Assault artillery going down on this sector as well. He's going to have to move his major a little bit, I think. Oh, those paratroopers have retreated to the assault artillery. They have to get through alive. They're Vet 3. He can't afford to lose those. Looks like they're going to be okay. Alright, that was lucky. That was lucky that they didn't get hit by a stray shell. Very lucky. Stolen machine gun moving up with new paratroopers, and the clock is ticking once again. 45 points now remaining for the Axis. They desperately must take one of these VPs to stand any chance. In fact, we even see an attempt at triple capping here on this point, but that's certainly not going to happen. Conscripts are going to get forced away. Oh, Sturmovik strike coming in, though. Wow, dealing not very much damage. I was expecting way more damage from that Sturmovik. All right. The Volksgrenadiers will be able to get away pretty much unscathed. It's huge to getting called in. More, what is this? Is this a P-47? I don't even know what got called in right there. Some kind of red smoke. Is that like a new Sturmovik or something? I guess so. We actually see a fuel harassment attempt from Zarkcloud, but I honestly think he should just leave his just focus on the VP. Who cares? You have 700 fuel. I guess the American needs to keep cranking out Jackson, so I can understand that. I guess I just don't want to fight any more Tigers. Ouch, that Sturmovik didn't miss. That one got the job done. Heavy mortar also inflicting heavy damage. You can feel the desperation from the Axis. They so desperately need to grab some territory. Symbiosis actually making a half track. They're so desperate to take and not retreat from this From this forward position, he had to make a half-track just for a forward reinforced point. A Zis gun moving up to support, machine gun moving up to support. He's setting up a last-ditch defensive line here on the north victory point. It looks like he may be able to take it in time. Oh! Grenade going out. Circle is getting smaller. Jackson moving up. Oh no, that half-track didn't stand a chance against that sustained Jackson fire. And the paratroopers down here are bullying those overs so hard they got pushed back. And I feel like the Allies almost just read their opponent's strategy like a book this game. Rushing that Yak Tiger got punished so hard, stood no chance. Stood no chance. Even Jacksons were able to just swarm it. Now this desperate capping attempt is getting punished by these assault conscripts. Oh, and heavy mortars are just falling left and right. And I think that could be the game. Only 15 points remaining. We do need to capture this point. More Axis infantry is on its way here. This is just a desperate battle for this lone victory point. All other points of the map are pretty much ignored. Panzer Fusiliers grabbing a machine gun. Keep the point decapped. The Allies continue to have to retreat, but this forward retreat point means he can just get right back into the action. I think that was major artillery. He just called in major artillery. That didn't do anything. Katyusha, on the other hand, is proving to be rather effective. Oh, look at this. We actually have harassment by Vet 5 overs on this victory point down here. And then shock troops get suppressed by that ridiculous veterancy bonuses on those Obersoldaten. That's a great unit to send for this harassment attempt. Zarklad's not even watching. He's going to lose a full Vet shock troop squad. Meanwhile, this point getting decapped. And this game is just, it's not ending. The game is just not ending. What is going on? Obersoldaten are gonna wipe them. No! Uh-oh, GG being thrown though. GG being thrown. And then not surrendering. Oh! A new Schwer Panzer headquarters is actually going up on this victory point, but it's not gonna complete. There's no way. Not even close. Massed Axis infantry just getting torn to shreds by these vetted paras. Nice rifle grenade low, and he's gonna retreat. I don't think he had to, but he's going to. And Vivix keeps calling in major artillery. Why? Oh, the Vet 5 overs actually moved all the way up from the south VP to try and catch these snipers. Oh, one goes down, getting burst down so hard. Zark trying to push with his Su-85, but those snipers just got destroyed. Wow. Okay. Maybe the Axis have changed their mind about that GG because, the game just isn't ending. They are not going to give up. They are absolutely not giving up.
All done over here. MG-42, get down! Get out of his kill zone! That's a heavy machine gun!
We're on 45 minutes now with only 15 points remaining for the Axis. It looks like this could be the final Allied push. Maybe.
Fire and adjust!
Maybe. There is a machine gun suppressing those paratroopers. If they don't get unsuppressed, they're actually probably going to lose to these double grenadiers. Rifle grenades going. Oh, nice rifle grenade. I think that they'll win this engagement. I don't know. Vet 2, they are unsuppressed. Scott also firing. And the victory point is frozen while both of these squads stand in a circle. Another rifle grenade goes out. Ooh, he aimed that to kill the guys standing in the circle, and he will be able to stop their capture progress. Just barely made it into the circle in time. And he's going to fight to the death for this point, I think. Scott's focusing down this giant purple blob over here. Oh, jeez. The Axis are literally forced to send squads to their death in this victory point circle and just hope against hope that they won't get killed by indirect fire. In fact, he's going to move out of the circle and just leave the clock frozen. Trying to stay in reinforced range. There is a new 251 half-track on the field. The Axis are setting up a fresh defensive line up here, doing everything they can. And again, we have this harassment by these Obersoldaten. Good thing that they're avoiding that trench. If they were to stand anywhere near that trench, they would get blown to smithereens. Oh no, they're going to automatically pass towards it for cover when these... Oh, he detonated it. He killed none of them. They weren't close enough. It looked like they were, but none of them were close enough. And now I think that those Obers could win this engagement. He has to move out of the circle, though. Meanwhile, up here in the north, indirect fire continues to fall on those Panzer Fusiliers. Will he get the point before he gets taken out? Yes, he will. Axis have taken the north VP, and the Obers force away their shocks here in the south. Oh my god. This is just a desperate fight. So desperate. The desperation. I've never seen such desperation. I've never seen such desperation. I can't believe the Allies haven't finished this game out. If I were them, I might even start to get a little bit worried. They're kind of like losing momentum. This would, if All Stars won this, it would be the second just massive comeback that they've made in this tournament. I don't know if they're going to be able to pull it off. But I guess we're finding out. GG got called like 5 minutes ago. Who said that? Symbiosis said GG. Run to the Sun in voice chat must have been like, no. We can do this. It's not over. We can do this. And Vivix is making a third Scott. He just wants to blast those infantry. They're giving him such a hell of a time. Meanwhile, Zarcloud doing what he can with his PPSH conscripts, but 60 kills on those Obersoldaten. They are literally the only thing Run to the Sun needs in the south. If they don't send any vehicles down here, they can take on anything. They're just like an unstoppable infantry squad. They have suppression. They're like invulnerable. They deal massive damage. It will require a vehicle to unseat them. Exactly, Vifix. My thoughts exactly. Obersoldaten are kiting a little bit, throwing a frangible. Yep. Paratroopers, meanwhile, up here doing what they can. But that is a lot of Axis defensive line. A pack has been sent up here. The Allies are actually down to 200 points. If the clock doesn't stop soon, they're going to be in serious trouble. Shock troops do close into really close range on those Obers. Man, they just are so tough. He will retreat after sustaining one loss, and Run to the Sun never purchases a retreat point, so he's going to have to retreat all the way, meaning that Zarcloud will retake control of the south. Those paratroopers are just tearing things up at range. The Katyusha continues to wither the Axis line, and once again, it looks like it could be over. It looks like it. I could be wrong, though. Grenade going out on the pack. And it's almost like we're back in the mid-game. It's like the early/mid game right now. There's no heavy tanks on the field. It's all infantry combat and tactics. But it's just weird because there's like Vet 3 Paras and like a Jackson. And the Allies do get control of the North victory point, and the clock will start ticking once again. Only 14 points remaining now for the Axis. 13. P-47 being called in just to kill a half-track. Oh, and a Jagdpanzer, which I didn't even realize was on the field. May have difficulty contending with 2 Jacksons and his Su-85, though. 10 points remaining. Meanwhile, in the south, the Obers have finally made their way back down here. Shock Troop Squad wiped. Conscript Squad doing what it can. It's closing into short range. They're doing like almost literally 0 damage to these Obersoldaten. And they actually just walked out of the capping circle so he could throw a Molotov into the crater, hoping for some lucky flame crits. I think he actually got one. They're actually taking a bit of damage. He wasn't watching, but the Obers will win. Meanwhile, the top has been decapped. What happened? The Paras were forced to retreat somehow. By what, a Volksgrenadier squad? Are you serious? How is that even possible?
God damn it.
They must have thrown like a perfect grenade. Dodging indirect fire. And they will move out of the circle, and things are actually kind of quiet. Eerily quiet. The Axis now have 8 points, and the Allies are down to 150, and they're triple capped. They're triple capped. And there's a Tiger on the field about to hit the Allied retreat point. It finds a Scot. No chance of that escaping. Maybe he'll pop smoke. Oh no. Their main gun destroyed. And he's gonna round the corner. I mean, I guess. He's actually gonna pull away. He's gonna pull away because a Jackson and 2 Jacksons and an Su-85 are on their way. How did that just die? I don't even know what just happened there. Paratroopers just got dropped on the victory point, trying to retake it. Massive Allied force up here also, so there's going to be no way for them to hold that. But the Axis are fighting hard for the south. Paratroopers are focusing down those Fusiliers, but they have no chance against those Obers. High explosive... An Su-76? What? An Su-76 just got called in down here. I guess what other choice does he have? He's tier 4. He doesn't have any heavy call-in tanks. He just purchased an Su-76, and it actually forces those Obers to retreat. Or just sprint away. He's actually just sprinting away. I think they're just sprinting. Okay, yeah. Fortunately, those Panzer Fusiliers are still in the area. Katyusha's trying to fire on them before they can capture the point. Only 7 points now remaining. The top has been decapped by the paratroopers. Nothing up there to stop them. Panzer Fusiliers do manage to grab the victory point, though. Conscripts moving up to take the point back. I think that's going to be GG. I think that's it. I see no hope. I don't know how they could possibly pull it off at this point. 5 points remaining. Paratroopers defending. Conscripts successfully taking the south away. That's it. That's it. Oh, wait, here the... no, okay. Run to the Sun also calls GG. GG. The points have run out. The clock has run out. And that is it. All Stars were defeated. And Su-76 made an appearance. U.S. forces were in the game, the bracket winning game. What a game. 53 minutes of just pure carnage and destruction. Well played by both sides. That means Jaeger's going to go on to fight the NA champions. Great game. What a show. I hope everybody enjoyed. Thank you very much for watching. That's going to conclude the stream.